ask you about Dylan.
Yeah.
And, when you go back and look at Saturday's game, what stood out to you maybe on both sides? Things he did really well, things that you'd like to see him improve on, and just through two games, what's your assessment of where he is?
Yeah, love how efficient he was throwing the football, obviously, and taking care of the football. I mean, those things are going to be huge in us moving forward the right way. But continuing to take care of the rock, man, is, again, that's where it's all going to start for us. So proud of him from that standpoint. We created some explosives. I think the biggest thing is making sure we're not taking unnecessary sacks the first, third, and sixth of the game. Got to be better there, and then later on in the first half, just not getting out of the situation where we end up 2nd and 17 and ends up being a drive killer there. So again, I think I mentioned it maybe after the game, but so many people want to talk about the big boys up front, from a sack standpoint, and really all three of those, it didn't have anything to do with the O-line. We had a real opportunity to clean some things up. So great teachable moments. Love how he's played with great effort. He's had incredible command. He's been really accurate, but man, just so many things to continue to improve on.
Jeff, I wanted to ask you just about the evolution of the run game from game 1 to game 2. Did you see what you wanted to see out of it, and what do you expect moving forward going into Nebraska?
Yeah, the thing that saw Sunday morning watching the tape was we played incredibly hard up front. We strained, we striked, we finished. We did a really good job, and the stats don't tell that story. But after watching the tape, man, proud of how much improvement we made in just finishing and how hard we played up front. So was proud of the group. Didn't run the football like we wanted to in the first half. Credit to Kent State. They did an unbelievable job. They changed how they fit things, and I didn't do a great job adjusting early enough, and then got to some things in the second half that helped us, and we won our one-on-one situations in the second half. So like where we're at, got to continue to get better as we go on the road this week.
Yeah, Jeff, a lot of us expected Jaleel Farouk to have a much bigger imprint through the first couple of weeks. Anything you've seen as to why maybe he just hasn't gotten going yet?
I think the biggest thing is the ball just hadn't found him, and that's part of playing this game. I'm proud of him for just being incredibly steady and playing as hard as he's played. And that's a conversation we had yesterday, man. Just keep doing exactly what you're doing. The ball's going to find you. Good things are going to happen. He's been an unbelievable teammate. He's worked really hard. He's dialed into the detail right now. So there's going to be a moment in time where, man, he's going to have a breakout day, and it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody.
It was almost the tale of two halves in terms of just scoring for you, but that last drive, you really got it going. What turned it on? I mean, what really got you going? And then you carried it on. You have to be really happy with that.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was, and talked about this after the game, but our guys playing the next play, staying incredibly calm, staying together, playing the next play, being able to put that drive together. Felt really good about the plan from a 2-minute standpoint and what we had in. And Dylan and Marv being able to go execute, those last 3 plays to be able to get us in the end zone. And then obviously the way we started the second half was exactly what we wanted, and what we had planned on, but didn't happen the way we wanted early on. But, you punt the football 4 straight times, then you have 5 straight scoring drives with 4 touchdowns. So it really is a tale of two halves. But just proud of our guys, man, for continuing to play, stay together, and then being explosive when we needed to.
Did you talk about Nebraska too, defensively?
Yeah, these guys play. They've played a bunch of guys. I think when you look at them, the thing that sticks out is they've got 3 defensive ends that have played really, really well. Guys play incredibly hard. They're physical. They're big. They're strong. They've played multiple guys inside. I'm fully expecting the Mike Backer to be back, who's a really good player. Didn't have him last week, and guy that kind of controls it for him. So a group that we're expecting to get their best. That's our expectation. We're going to have to go up and play incredibly physical and play incredibly well to be where we want to be at the end of 60 minutes.
Hey, Jeff, just wanted to ask you about, how have you felt about the balance between running and passing through the first couple of weeks? Is that kind of where you've wanted it to be? I know that can change throughout
the course of a season, but what have you seen from that the first 2 games?
We're close, like where we're at from a balance standpoint, from a run pass standpoint, some situational stuff. I think it's been pretty close to where we want to be. Got to continue to have great balance to be able to do what we want to do and sustain. So that's a big part of it, and like where we're at.
Jeff, for all the chaos that's going on up in Lincoln, how much does a coach lean on? Could just as easily be a different story because of, and it's well documented, right? But one score game after one score game, loss after loss. I mean, does this become an obvious talking point with the team this week?
Yeah, I think for us, it's us understanding that we're going to Lincoln and we're going to get their best, regardless of what has gone on. What will go on Saturday at 11 a.m. is those guys playing their best football, and that's our expectation. That's going to be the reality of it, regardless of what has happened. I truly believe, man, what's going to happen is those guys are going to play their butt off on Saturday, and we will too. But that's what we're expecting.
Yeah, big day for Marvin Mims on Saturday. But one thing that's a little unique about him is he's an outstanding student, smart guy. What does that do with a coach when you got a guy that great of an athlete, but also a guy that's so book smart? Yeah. Is there an advantage to that, or is that just good for his life but doesn't really affect you?
No, there's a huge advantage. You have the ability to do a lot of different things with Marv. And he's got great understanding of the position, but of the game, and great understanding of defense and what he needs to do to put himself in position to make plays and have success. So it's a huge advantage when you get a guy that's the total package like Marv is.
Jeff, I want to ask about Marcus Major. Found the end zone again last weekend. Just, he's talked a lot about obviously having to mature compared to last season. Just what does that process look like from your perspective, and just how would you describe who he is off the field?
Yeah, he's been incredibly consistent. Talked about that a bunch during fall camp and right before we got going with week 1, but he's been the same guy. And it's been good to see him mature, but again, understanding that, man, just playing one play at a time, doing the most with his opportunities, and creating consistency and value for himself, and he's done that. So proud of what he's done since we've gotten here, and it's going to be fun riding him as we move forward.
Jeff, you talked about the speed of the adjustments there in the first half. Is that just something that new system, new coaching staff, you have to be in that moment to kind of get those things rapidly so you don't have to wait till halftime?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is I probably should have been a little more aggressive throwing the football. And that was wanted to establish the run game, was a little stubborn about that probably early on, and that was something that we wanted to get going. And again, I probably should have thrown the football a few more times, but creating great balance and running the football is going to be a huge thing for us and who we are from an identity standpoint. But really, it was on me not throwing the ball around a little more early on in the game to create some air in the defense.
Back to Marcus, he spoke last week about your early conversations and him choosing to stay here and buying in and changing his mentality. How much of that relationship and you counting on him, is the way he put it, do you think has produced, as you had said, some of his best stretch here?
Yeah, I think he's just taking great ownership. He's taking great accountability and being consistent, being the same guy every day, and making it a lot easier on us to know what we're getting when he's in the game. And so it's a credit to him. I think everybody has believed in him from a talent standpoint, and being able to dig in and get in the weeds with him and making sure that he's, being the best version of him every single day, and him knowing that we're counting on him. I think that's been good for him, and he's answered the bell.
How did you challenge him when you did get here and trying to get him to that place?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was just having real conversations about understanding him reaching his potential, understanding he's got a chance to be an elite player, and so what he puts in is what he's going to get out, and that's where it lays at the end of the day, and he's done a great job.
Yeah, Jeff, did you like what you got out of Daniel Parker in his first game on the field the other day, and kind of what he brings to the offense?
Yeah, he brings great physicality, great toughness, great edge, and a guy that has played a bunch of football, so a bunch of experience. So did like what we got from DP. You know, we'll continue to see more of him. Obviously going to see a ton of B. Will, but like where he was at after week 1 for him.
Drake Stoops' afternoon, evening, the play that he made down here to get inside the final.
Just unbelievable. When Drake touches the football, good things happen. I mean, he's incredibly steady. He's the same dude every single day. He's the same way in between those white lines. He's competitive. He's tough. He's edge. He's what Oklahoma football is all about. And so, man, just proud of him. And he's been so steady since the day we walked in the door, and excited about where he's going.
Did it without a shoe.
Did it without a shoe. It was a heck of a picture.
Lee Benson in the back. Coach, yesterday, Dean Blevins was talking to Coach Venables on his coach's show, and Coach Venables mentioned that Wanya is expected back this week. Just curious, when Wanya is available to be back and play, what does he bring to you guys now that you've had a couple games under your belt?
Yeah, he's another guy that brings experience. You know, he's played in a bunch of games. He's incredibly athletic. He's a guy that has great understanding of the game and the scheme. So, looking forward to possibly having him back and ready to roll.
Jeff, I didn't dig into stats. I don't know this honestly. Did past stops that you had at Ole Miss, UCF, when you were the OC, did it take a little bit that first season to get everyone to get comfortable, or was there ever a time where just out of the chute it clicked immediately?
Yeah, I honestly truly believe we're in a better spot than I was in or we were in as a unit at the prior stops. And again, it's because of who's catching the snap. We've got a guy that's got great understanding. We've taken great care of the football. When we've gotten the first down and been able to sustain in drives, we've played really, really fast. So, I feel like we're at a really good spot. We did not, those first 4 drives, that's not who we are, not who we're going to be. But I do like the fact that we had some challenge, and that's going to create some change and some understanding of, who we are as a unit, and being able to hold guys accountable, but also being able to, just go through something that wasn't perfect, and creating some togetherness. So that's where we're at, and I like it.
Follow up: are you in a better place if it doesn't happen the way you want it right away? Or are you, as a coach, in a better place to sort of understand that there are going to be wrinkles?
Yeah, there's still frustration, obviously, but again, if we're going to play the next play to our guys, we've got to be able to live it too. So. Understanding that we're going to run the football, we're going to take care of the football. We got to be great in the red zone. We got to be better on third down. I think that's the biggest stress, is being better on third down, which means being better on early downs. But again, like where we're at and where we're going.
Yeah, Frost wasn't terribly involved with the defense, I don't think. But is there a way how do you guys respond to a coaching change? And all of a sudden you got an interim coach and they can do about anything they want to.
Right.
How do you guys prepare? Is there a way to prepare for that?
I think when you look at it, the defensive side of the football, he was not involved at all, that to our knowledge. And then with him hiring who he hired offensively, obviously, I think he had stepped out of the offensive role too. But again, it's so much about us and us understanding we're going to get their best, and those kids will be excited to play at 11, and we will too. So that's what it's all about to us.
The second half you ran the ball better. Brent, after the game, talked about some adjustments and things. You have somewhat of an experienced offensive line. The fact they handled those things and really executed. What do you think about that?
It was really good, and again, after watching the tape, man, we played hard up front. I was proud of those guys and the way they strained. Really, really proud of them. The other thing was our backs did a better job in the second half of winning one-on-ones. That was something that I thought was very, very noticeable and evident. We got one-on-one situations. We did a better job of winning, which we're going to need to continue that trend.
Last 1 second on Austin. Hey Jeff, obviously it's been a while since OU's been able to go back to Lincoln. What do you remember from battling those Nebraska teams when you were a student here?
Yeah, just an incredible rivalry, fanfare, pageantry, what college football is all about. Oklahoma, Nebraska, 2 storied programs that are built on toughness and edge and physicality. So look forward to that on Saturday morning.
Were you ever able to make it to Lincoln on a trip?
Yeah, went up there. I can't remember what year it was, but I was up there. Guess it was my junior year. Had a good trip. Yeah, 05.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Awesome. Appreciate it.